Hi everybody, it's Lisa here, and tonight we're making meatballs. Did you hear that? The microwave's ready. There's beef in the microwave. So, let's make some dinner. This is literally my snack. Don't come at me, I just did not want to make cinnamon rolls. So here I'm getting ready for my Yorkshire puddings. They're all going to be homemade, and this is my 2 pounds of ground beef. We want our meatballs nicely seasoned evenly, and we definitely want them nice and big. You can have them like rolled out to small, like my hands are pretty small, but don't be fooled by my small hands, man. They make big ass meatballs. Right, here is a 1/4 teaspoon of salt. You can put less than this for ground black pepper, but 1/4. Okay, so I know it's not Heinz ketchup, but it still is good, and you don't need very much of it. It's just for moisture, but trust the process. 1, 2, about like a couple tablespoons of ketchup. You're gonna add 1 egg, and it's gonna be very well of a large egg. I know some people, you know, they don't like to wash their hands, but I like to wash my hands, and I like to thoroughly dry when I'm cooking and baking, so do wash your hands. Of maple and brown sugar oatmeal, or if you want to do it the other way, you can just use 1 packet. It doesn't really much matter to me, packet's a packet. If you are going to use both packets, I'd advise that you have 3 pounds of ground beef instead of 2. And for this recipe, it's really super simple. Like I said, you can add about a teaspoon or 1/4 of a teaspoon, sorry, of mustard. And that's either Dijon or regular yellow Frenchies mustard. Now I like to as well add some Parmesan cheese, because who doesn't like cheese, right? So I would go with about a tablespoon to like 2.5, depending on how you like your cheese. Okay, so I know this is weird, but I really don't like touching meat with my raw hands, and I just ran out of those finger plastic glove things, so I'm gonna use what I have, because, you know, in this day and age with the economy, it sucks. You can't really afford much. But that's okay, because we're just gradually mixing and tightening and pulling our meat. Just kidding. We are mixing our meat very thoroughly, very well. You want to like almost give it like a massage. If you don't understand what I'm saying, let me show you. Okay, you want to just like pull and almost like a catch and release. Grab it all from the sides and mix very, very well. And I promise you, it's going to be freaking delicious. Like, look at that already. It looks amazing. Now that my ground beef, or your ground beef, thank you for helping, is nicely evenly coated. It's got the salt, the pepper, everything, right? The brown sugar and the ketchup is going to nicely sweeten this. The acids from the vinegar in the ketchup is going to make this super, super soft and moist. Don't be afraid of that word, everybody. Moist is good, but you don't want it too moist, right? Now we're gonna put this aside. We're gonna bring this over. This is the Yorkshire pudding. So far I have 1 cup of flour, 1.5 teaspoons of salt, You want to give it a nice mix because you want your salt to go evenly. And I know my husband is talking outside. It's all band work, so yes, he has a band. Okay, so we have 3 eggs. Just go 1. Make sure you don't get shell. If you feel like you're gonna get shell, please do this in a separate bowl and stay very careful, okay? So 2nd egg going in. Make sure you get all the egg, not just parts. And then here's the 3rd egg. And yes, usually I would do it one-hander, but since I had my stroke, things don't always work the way you want it to, right? So I gotta get this back into practice because my entire left side needs to work out. So be patient. All right, now you're gonna do 1 cup of milk. This is 3/4 milk, but because my friend borrowed my cup, she kind of screwed with my handle part and then part of the side. So when I got it back, it did not last very long. So this is now a cup of milk. All right. And then you can use like 1/4 cup of fat. You can use like 2 tablespoons of melted unsalted butter mixed with 2 tablespoons of vegetable oil. You can use like drippings from your pot roast or whatever. Vegetable oil, it works. Bacon grease works too. But you're going to have a nice turnaround when you do use those fats. Those are the healthy fats that you're going to need for this recipe of Yorkshire pudding. This is a no-fail recipe, so do chart this down. Rewind the video and chart it down if you do not know how to make it homemade. Today is your day. Forget to set it to 350. But you can also set the oven to 450 Fahrenheit, okay? And it's going to rise better because when you're at a certain temperature, everything is coagulating. Like it's coming together, it's slowly heating up, and as it heats up, it's gonna get thicker and then it's gonna rise and all those air pockets. And what we need is those complete, beautiful air pockets. So when you have those air pockets, those are the perfect things that your Yorkshire puddings need, because that's where the gravy goes. Like, does anybody else do that, or is it just me? I put like gravy in there. I'll put mashed potatoes, then gravy, mashed potatoes, vegetables, then gravy. It's like a homemade sandwich, okay? Let me know in the comments if you do that. Like, come on. You're not Canadian if you don't. So what I like to do is I like to take, usually if I have a beef roast or something like that, I'll put a teaspoon of the drippings in here. And what I meant by fats too, is just so you're aware, is those fats are going into each of your little muffin, like on your muffin tray. You're going to put like a teaspoon to about a teaspoon and a half of those fats into each part of your muffin tin. And then you're going to put your mixture, like your Yorkshire mixture, into each of your muffin tin. So each one of your muffins, or Yorkshire puddings in this case, as I'm thoroughly mixing and combining my mixture here, you're going to put them into the muffin tin, and they're going to rise really, really nice. But if you really want nice, flavorful, and beautiful rised Yorkshire puddings, I'd put like some beef dripping into your mixture, just like about a tablespoon or a teaspoon, depending on who you are. But I prefer like a tablespoon because we need that flavor, right? But it's going to be in our muffin tin as well. So you can go either way. So right now we're in the middle of our mixture. That's what we got. It's kind of lumpy. You mix until there's no more lumps and bumps. Okay, now for our meatballs, because we kind of need the beef fat for our Yorkshire puddings. You're gonna put a teaspoon of butter and another tablespoon to 2 tablespoons of canola oil or vegetable oil. If you're kind of like me and you don't have it and you wanted something cheaper and you went to Costco or your favorite place like Safeway or whatever, get olive oil, the extra virgin olive oil, and no virgins, just olives, and it'll do the same amount, but 1 to 2 tablespoons. Okay, so once you take your tablespoon, you're gonna scoop out your meat, roll it into a ball, and listen to this. Okay. Oh yeah, that's exactly what you want to see. Now do that until all of this is gone. So as you can see here, this is what you want. You want the browning, the golden, and the aroma. It actually smells freaking amazing. But I need a bigger pan. So anybody got suggestions, any companies out there that got good brands? I like the Selena Gomez brand that she's been using, that she just did an advertisement for. They have amazing pans and whatnot. I need a bigger one, so just so y'all know. And that's why. It's because all of that should be in here. Okay? But like I said, you make the meatballs. These are quite huge, but don't forget, meat does shrink when it's cooking, so you know. So that would be awesome. It will get used up. The smell, oh my god, I wish I could tell you. And as you can hear, there's music being played in my basement. I have an orchestra. And my husband's the leader. So the brand that I was talking about with Selena Gomez, who advertised it as well, the brand is called Our Place, and it's beautiful freaking cookware, like absolutely gorgeous. I just want something a little bigger because my family eats a lot and they eat deep dish things, and like that's what we look for in our meatballs. And like I said, they shrunk after they heat up and they cook, but I want to make more, and I usually do make more. So like when it comes to cooking, I make huge quantities, and that's what I need, is something that will bring out those huge quantities as I cook. So bigger things, please help. Look at that sizzle, that bubble, all that ooey gooey goodness. Oh, actually it's just grease, but like it's beef flavor. And this is what we're gonna need, a little bit of that in our muffin tin for Yorkshire puddings. All right, so now let's get started on the next best thing. That's what we got. We did 3 because you don't want your Yorkshire puddings too close together, otherwise they just don't pan out. All right, so now you see our mixture has frothed a little bit. We just gently, all right, get your ladle. Mine's already washed. You just 1 scoop, clean it, and over into our mixture. There you go. Now you put these bad boys in there until they're done rising and they're nice and golden. Okay, now this is what you want from your Yorkshire. You want it sizzling just beautifully like that, right? And yes, I gotta clean my oven, but don't come at me for that. Come back in here. They're getting a nice crisp, and then what they're gonna do is they're gonna sink inwards after they rise, and once they're exposed to air, right? So on to the next thing, mashed potatoes. So now that our beautiful meatballs are done, they're put in a dish. Would have made even bigger ones, but you know, it's how it is. Anyways, now we have, all right, just pulled my Yorkshire puddings out of the oven, and this is what they currently look like. They're still pretty freaking hot and tender, but that center right there that my shadow is pointing at will sink in. All of it will sink in, and that's what I want. Now I could have put more mixture in, but I didn't want my Yorkshire puddings to overflow because this is a very small pan. Got the potatoes going, got my peas and carrots going. Once these are cooked, we're gonna do some cream peas and carrots. Did you not know that cream vegetables like cream peas and carrots and parsnips and stuff like that, that is a Scandinavian thing, and it also came from Ukraine, and hold on, England. Yeah, it's a UK thing. I got taught by my dad and his mom, and it just kept getting passed down. So I'm gonna teach you. And by the way, if you guys are wondering, these are fully cooked, like fully cooked on the inside. And if you don't believe me, due to the lighting skills, I set this. There you are. It's all fully cooked. And now we just add in a little bit of salt. Should be good. And then we put a little bit of pepper. Oops, not a lot. We don't want a lot. Then we put in a little bit of milk. Not a lot. About like a quarter. Maybe just half that. Quarter, I meant quarter cup. Just bear with me. Still recovering from my stroke, remember this. Then we're gonna, well, I usually use 2 tablespoons of cream cheese. And it works just beautifully. And from Clubhouse, roasted red pepper and garlic. You don't want a lot, just a little bit. And then some of that Parmesan cheese. Oh yes. Now go ahead and mash as much as you can. Right. Had to do it with 2 hands because, you know, I'm not really all that good with 1 hand. And if you guys know about these ones, these mashers, that likes to flimse a lot. So, see? Exactly my point. Drain half of this liquid because we're gonna put cream in there. 1 tablespoon of butter, 1 teaspoon of flour. We're gonna do equivalent to milk. A pinch of salt and a pinch of pepper. Okay, and then we're gonna add some sugar to this because that's what we need. Okay, and now our milk. All right, now let's mix until we see no lumps. All right, pour in our mixture. Now, just so that you're aware, I do have a band downstairs. It's my husband's band, and we're just gonna mix this and let it thicken. Now look at those. Oh my goodness. This is what they should have done. Okay, note for next time, add more mixture into muffin tin. Don't come at me. I had burnt ends in my drippings, so now I'm using Clubhouse brown gravy, and it smells amazing and tastes just as good as my gravy, but mine's better. Look at this. Look at this. Do always taste it. It should taste sweet. with a little bit of salt and pepper. You might add a little bit more pepper, like maybe 2 or 3 pinches of pepper, but it is beautiful, and this is what you're wanting. It's nice, it's thick, and it's creamy. It's beautiful. And here we are. Got the gravy, the cream of peas and carrots, the meaty balls, and then we're going to take our loveliness. Oh yeah, beautiful. To top it off. Ta-da! Thank you for watching. Please like, subscribe for more delicious content. And yes, all that's under 40 bucks. Just saying, if you know good deals, you know what to make. All right, so let's try the cream peas, because the cream peas, they're amazing, but homemade cream peas is just even better. Boo, can you pass me a spoon? It's right there on the table.
On the table?
Oh. Right, so let's dig in. I want to try the cream peas with the cream. Cheers. Homemade stuff's always better. Always, always better. Okay. Our heavenly potatoes with gravy. It's so good! Okay. Don't know if you can see. Fully cooked. That was really good. All right, and my Yorkshire pudding. See that pocket? Don't know if you can. Okay. These are better than packaged. Solid. 10 out of 10. Now, you take this, mashed potatoes and gravy, a little bit of peas and carrots and sauce. Take my famous, delicious, moist meatballs. And let's do it like this. Straight shooting, 10 out of 10, fuck yeah. Now you want to see those pockets. Those pockets are beautiful. Oh, it tastes so good. No need for packaged Yorkshire puddings anymore. So like, follow, subscribe, say something nice. Spread some positivity today to somebody who might need it or somebody who doesn't need it at all. Just be nice. And definitely share the shit out of my videos. Why? Because you never know what's gonna happen. Maybe I might do a giveaway. You don't know. All right. See you. Have a good day.